Some people chase after God's presence, while others push it away without even realizing it. David wanted the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem, a symbol of God's presence, power, and favor. But one mistake cost a man his life, and suddenly, what should have been a moment of victory became a moment of fear. How often do we desire God's blessings but handle them carelessly? The Bible, in 2 Samuel 06, explains exactly what happened, and trust me, it's a lesson no one can afford to miss. Because here's the thing, when David got it right, the ark didn't just arrive, it transformed lives. But not everyone celebrated. Some stood at a distance, mocked, and lost more than they ever imagined. So, what does this mean for you today? Keep reading, because what happened next changed Israel forever, and it might just change you too. Then, let's read the chapter together. David again brought together all the able young men of Israel, 30,000. He and all his men went to Bala in Judah to bring up from there the ark of God, which is called by the name of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim on the ark. They set the ark of God on a new cart and brought it from the house of Abinadab, which was on the hill. Uzzah and Ahio, sons of Abinadab, were guiding the new cart with the ark of God on it, and Ahio was walking in front of it. David and all Israel were celebrating with all their might before the Lord, with castanets, harps, lyres, timbrels, sistrums, and cymbals. When they came to the threshing floor of Nacon, Uzzah reached out and took hold of the ark of God, because the oxen stumbled. The Lord's anger burned against Uzzah because of his irreverent act, therefore God struck him down, and he died there beside the ark of God. Then David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzzah, and to this day that place is called Perez Uzzah. David was afraid of the Lord that day and said, "How can the ark of the Lord ever come to me?" He was not willing to take the ark of the Lord to be with him in the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. The ark of the Lord remained in the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite for 3 months, and the Lord blessed him and his entire household. Now King David was told, "The Lord has blessed the household of Obed-Edom and everything he has, because of the ark of God." So David went to bring up the ark of God from the house of Obed-Edom to the city of David with rejoicing. When those who were carrying the ark of the Lord had taken 6 steps, he sacrificed a bull and a fattened calf. Wearing a linen ephod, David was dancing before the Lord with all his might, while he and all Israel were bringing up the ark of the Lord with shouts and the sound of trumpets. As the ark of the Lord was entering the city of David, Michal, daughter of Saul, watched from a window. And when she saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, she despised him in her heart. They brought the ark of the Lord and set it in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it, and David sacrificed burnt offerings and fellowship offerings before the Lord. After he had finished sacrificing the burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord Almighty. Then he gave a loaf of bread, a cake of dates and a cake of raisins to each person in the whole crowd of Israelites, both men and women. And all the people went to their homes. When David returned home to bless his household, Michal, daughter of Saul, came out to meet him and said, "How the king of Israel has distinguished himself today, going around half naked in full view of the slave girls of his servants as any vulgar fellow would." David said to Michal, "It was before the Lord, who chose me rather than your father or anyone from his house when he appointed me ruler over the Lord's people Israel. I will celebrate before the Lord. I will become even more undignified than this, and I will be humiliated in my own eyes. But by these slave girls you spoke of, I will be held in honor." And Michal, daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for his mercy. Lord, wow, what a lesson today. Thank you for opening my eyes to the power of your presence. I don't want to be like Michal, standing on the sidelines, missing out because of pride or fear. I want to be like David, bold, passionate, and completely surrendered to you. Help me to live this out, not just in words, but in my actions. When I'm tempted to hold back, remind me that true worship isn't about what others think, it's about you. Keep my heart soft, Lord, and teach me to walk in obedience so I don't miss the blessings you have for me. Thank you for your patience, your love, and the chance to get this right. I'm all in. Amen. So now the question is, how do you respond to God's presence? Are you like David, willing to surrender everything in worship? Or like Michal, standing on the sidelines, letting pride and bitterness block your blessing? 2 Samuel 06 isn't just an old Bible story, it's a mirror. It shows us the difference between those who embrace God's presence and those who reject it. And let's be real, how many times do we hold back because we're afraid of looking foolish? But here's the truth, the ones who humble themselves before God are the ones He lifts up. Think about it, David's life was marked by victory because he prioritized God above his reputation. Meanwhile, Michal's story ended in barrenness, a symbol of what happens when we let criticism, resentment, and pride rule our hearts. So what about you? Are there areas in your life where fear or judgment are keeping you from fully experiencing God's power? Maybe it's time to stop worrying about what others think and start living in total surrender. Worship isn't just about singing, it's about placing God above everything, no matter who's watching. If this hit home for you, don't let it stop here. Drop a comment, what stood out to you most? And if you want to keep growing in your understanding of the Bible, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There's so much more to uncover, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Are you ready to step into God's presence like never before? Let's keep going. This journey is just getting started. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.